Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Jai Radhe, Radha Madan Mohan. Jai Jagannath Swami, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra. Swami Jai Jagannath. Garanitai, Jai Garanitai, Garanitai, Jai Garanitai. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन की जय, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय, श्री श्री गौरनिताय की जय, श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नृसिंह भक्त प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, वृंददेव तुलसी महारानी की जय, युगधर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayed Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Today we will be discussing 33rd verse of chapter 25 from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto. There are 12 cantos. Of the 12 cantos, this is the 4th canto. And the chapter title is The Characteristics of King Puranjana. Navidama vayam samyak Navidama vayam samyak Kartaram Purusharshabha Kartaram Purusharshabha Atmanascha Parayasyapi Atmanascha Parayasyapi Gotram Namacha Yatkrutam Gotram Namacha Yatkrutam Navidama Vayam Samyak Kartaram Purusharshabha Atmanascha Parasyapi Gotram Namacha Yatkrutam. Navidama Vayam Samyak Kartaram Purusharshabha Atmanascha Parasyapi Gotram Namacha Yatkrutam. Navidama Vayam Samyak Kartaram Purusharshabha Atmanascha Parasyapi Gotram Namacha Yatkrutam. Vayam Samyak Kartaram Purusharshabha Atmanascha Parasyapi Gotram Namacha Yatkrutam. Anyone else? Okay. Na, do not. Vidama, no. Vayam, I. Samyak, perfectly. Kartaram, maker. Purusha Rishabha, O best of human beings. Atmanaha, of myself. Cha, and. Parasya, of others. Api, also. Gotram, family history. Nama, name. Cha, and. Yat Krutam, which has been made by whom? Translation. The girl said, O best of human beings, I do not know who has begotten me. I cannot speak to you perfectly about this, nor do I know the names or the origin of the associates with me. Please repeat. The girl said, O best of human beings, I do not know who has begotten me. I cannot speak to you perfectly about this, nor do I know the names or the origin of the associates with me? Purport. It's a very small purport, but it has many, many essential points. I'll go one by one. Om Ajnanatimrandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Before beginning, I sincerely seek Srila Rupa Goswami's blessings to aspire the shelter at his shade of his lotus feet. The purport. The living entity is ignorant of his origin. He doesn't know why this material world was created. Actually, this purport is filled with so many questions that we will face during our journey of life. So many questions. And the purport begins with why this world was created, why this world existed, why others are working in this material world, and what the ultimate source of this manifestation is. So where this world have come from? It's even more than $1 billion question, or many. We cannot compare because that's so essential for our existence. See, any gadget or anything in this world, any matter related, we can use it properly only when we understand about it, or when we know the specifications or the parameters of it. For example, refrigerator we cannot use as an air conditioner because we know the intended purpose of refrigerator. And similarly, water heater we cannot use for cooking because we know the intended purpose. Similarly, when we know the intended purpose of whatever existed, then we can best utilize it. So similarly, when we know the intended purpose of this creation, then we can best operate as like a well-wisher, like a good person, or like a anything, like a good social worker, or for that matter, a good devotee of Lord Krishna. Is such an important aspect, because if we don't know the intended purpose of our existence and the existence of this world, well, we will be misled by others, or we will mislead others. That's why it is important. No one knows the answers to these questions, and this is called ignorance. Sometimes people say everything is within the heart. So if we just look inside, we will know everything. We don't have to approach any books. We don't have to approach anyone. We don't have to learn from anyone. So sometimes people argue like that. Just look in your heart, you will know everything. But that's not the case. That's not the case in any aspect of our life. Any aspect. Like if you want to cook, did we start cooking, just like that or we learn from someone? Or material education. Did we learn from someone, or right from the beginning without being taught by anyone, we just learned ABCD or, aksharas? Did we learn like that? No. We learn from someone, everything. Why? Because by birth we are in ignorance. That is why we need the external source. Just like this world is a dark world. Why? This is very bright, right? But then why Shastra says that it is dark world? It is dark world, that is why the sun is required. Otherwise there is no need of sun. Then there is no need of sun. Similarly, by birth, because we are born in ignorance, so we need external source to be educated. Then how much true it is for spiritual matters, or for things, or to understand the things which particularly which are beyond our comprehension. Something like about the creation, or why we existed, or what is the intended purpose. So it's required. It's definitely required the external source to understand these things. By researching into the origin of life, important scientists are finding some chemical compositions or cellular combinations, but actually no one knows the original source of life within this material world. So it's not the question of some people, it's a question of everyone, why the universe existed or what is the origin. So many scientists are putting their hard work. They are very austere also. They get up at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock and then they work till late 10 o'clock. Just imagine. They want to solve this puzzle. Where, why this world existed the way it existed. It existed in certain way, right? Not some other ways. It's following certain laws. It's following certain criteria, certain parameters. As if there is a purpose. Yes, there is a purpose. There's no doubt about it, but scientists are finding out. But the answers are there in Vedic scriptures. The answers are there in Bhagavad Gita. The answers are there in Vedas. So if we approach them, it solves our time. It saves our time a lot. It saves our time. I'll give an example. How much it saves our time if we learn from Bhagavad Gita. Every 40 seconds, there is a one suicide case in the world. This is the statistics. Every 40 seconds. It means by the time we began the class, how many people committed suicide? Just imagine. It means they're losing their life. So, one psychiatrist, whose name also I can give, Jean Twenge, there is one psychiatrist in New York. She was American. She was sad about it and she wanted to do some benefit to the society. 25 years ago, or maybe 25 to 30 years ago. And then she started doing research and writing thesis, analyzing the psychic, thoughts, the thoughts of people, particularly why the people are entering into the zone, into the domain of committing suicide zone, in that zone. What is pushing them towards that? So she did a lot of research and she wrote many papers and 25 plus years work, and finally she came to an understanding that with the understanding was given in Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, Karmanevadhikaraste mafaleshu kadachana. In that verse, in that verse, Lord Krishna says that Shri Shri Gaurnitai ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai, Shri Shri Jagannath Balade Subhadra Marani ki jai. In that verse, Lord Krishna said that you have entitled to do the work, but you have no right to enjoy the results of your work. You can get the results and you can take also results just to maintain your life, but beyond that you have no right. Essentially, that's the essence of the verse. And she worked 25 years and came to the very same conclusion, because people are expecting so much in the competitive world, comparing with others, competing with others. I should be ahead than anyone else. Now, when that aspiration was shattered, and they are losing hope, and then they are losing their life. 25 years. But that very same thing we can get by approaching pure devotees, just like that, in just maybe a few days. Or, if we are so intensely inquiring, just few moments. But even a typical person can get that vision in just few days by approaching. So a lot of time can be saved also. So these scriptures are very much true, and these scriptures are not man-written. These are not man-written. This is a very important point. These are not man-written, man-made scriptures. But some people say like that. Why? I'll come to that point here. The origin, important scientists are finding. And one aspect of this world is there will always be people who try to diminish the people's faith in God. There will always be. This world is, the people in this world are like that. They will always try to diminish the faith of people in Lord. So then, at one side, they have a desire to find out the root, but at the other side, they don't want to accept God. So this clash is there in the mentality. So that clash gives rise to many, many theories which are not true and not proven also. Like one is some chemical composition. So some scientists propose a theory that this world was originated from chemicals, nothing else. Chemicals means some combination of some chemicals. Like they call it primordial soup. Some amino acids, some base, and then they combine, and then life was originated. So, but the Srila Prabhupada and some of his followers very vigorously they oppose this. They said that, okay, whatever chemicals you mentioned, we will provide. So please generate even a mosquito in the lab. Then we will agree that the life was originated from chemicals. Even till today, that challenge happened, something of 50 years ago. Even till today, no one will succeed to create a life from chemicals. Because it's not true. It's not true. There is a glaring difference between chemicals and we, called spirit souls. What is the glaring difference? The glaring difference is consciousness or awareness. Like for example, we are aware where we sat right now. But the mass, whatever, the other things, like the mic is not aware, the mic is not conscious of that I'm speaking. So this is the difference. So where then that awareness, that consciousness is coming from? There's no answer. So then why the theory? There are many, many theories like that. I can go on, many, many theories, like a theory of evolution, chemical theory, and then chance theory. Many, many theories are proposed, but no one can be proven in laboratory. No theory can be proven in laboratory. It's not possible. So but one finding which very much actually important finding is, I'm not sure how recent the finding is, but it's a very interesting finding. The finding is, there are some scientists, particularly maybe in COVID time, some people were survived and some people are not, but both are COVID infected people. So they started digging what's happening. Maybe some biologists are there, they can understand, some more. I'm not a biologist, but still I will try to tell, because it makes a very important connection with the God. They found that the reason for survivals are, there are some warrior cells were created in the body. These cells attack the virus and then kill the virus without much harming the body cells. But then the question immediately arises, why not in some other's body? Right? A question arises. This is the way the physical world was designed. It is designed in the form of cause and effect. You observe the effect and find out the cause. And then immediately the cause becomes the effect. And it pushes you to find the cause of that cause. So like that, it will take you, you observe the effect and find the cause becomes effect, and you find the cause for it, and that newly found cause becomes effect, and find the cause. So like that, even a jnanis or the researchers or scholars or scientists will approach God. Krishna will not leave anyone. Krishna will always, catch everyone. Hey, you are my sons. You are going away. I will not leave. Somehow I'll be in touch with you. This is the way, why the world is created like this. Is because, even through that approach, one will reach God. Sure, there's no doubt what kind of science you take, what branch of science you take, you can approach Lord Krishna. Any science or any field you take. You take law field, you can approach God. You can take scientific field, you can approach God. You can take economic field, you can approach God. So these scientists are now finding why the warrior cells are there in somebody's, and then they found that the genetic structure is different between those people. And then the question arises again. They found the cause, but no cause. They found the effect. Now it became the cause. Now the cause, again they have to find why the genetic structures are different then. The genetic structures were formed at the time of birth. I mean, not the physical, at the time of fertilization. That's the genetic structure. Now that depends on karma. The genetic structure, why it was like that, it depends on karma. And then why karma was like that, it depends on our choices. So ultimately we end at the spirit souls. Now we will reach God like that. So this is the origin. This is the origin. So the origin is from God. Nothing else. Everything. So have you accept the acharyas and scriptures? We will save the time. Probably those geneticists must have spent some 20 plus years or 30 years. Usually it was the time limit, they spend that much time. But we can understand very easily from Shastras. So please take the Krishna conscious literature very seriously and read them regularly. They are, completely heart transforming literature, completely pure literature. And we can save a lot of time. Otherwise, Krishna respects our, inquisitive or that scholarly spirit. And then he will say, okay, you want to try to know me from this channel? Okay, go ahead. I'll open little bit by little bit the knowledge channel. Just that's what we discussed, step by step, opening the channels. And Krishna opens up even to such people. But if we accept the Krishna conscious process, then it's like a bypassing everything and directly understanding the top level. Having understood that, we can understand everything from the bottom. Everything will become crystal clear. Asmin vijnate sarvamevam vijnatam bhavati. Means, whatever we understand, whoever we understand, if we understand that, everything will be revealed to us. Just like, a puzzle was solved or a movie was shown. Just like that. So let's continue and complete the remaining purport. The phrase Brahma Jignasa is used to indicate an inquisitiveness to know the original source of our existence in this material world. So here the Jignasa, the inquisitiveness must be directed towards to know the existence. Generally the Jignasa will based on four things. How I will get nice food, how I will sleep nicely, or nice ambience, decorated room, and then how to defend myself, because I will lose the first and second, or maybe the fourth also, maidhuna, begetting children, or sense gratification. So how nicely, how refinedly I can enjoy my senses. So the defense is to defend the other three. So usually our inquisitiveness is based on these four. The materials I mean to say. So, and then the ideas and the whatever uh, they implement in their life based on these four. But then that will not solve our problems, because there will always be someone who steal from us. There will always be someone. What are opposing elements? So this is called Atata Brahma Jignasa. It will lead finally then towards God. That's what it means. Now, no philosopher, scientist, or politician actually knows where from we have come. Where from we have come from. Okay. So, why we are here struggling so hard for existence and where we will go. So, struggle is there. That is undeniable fact. There are many, many struggles in our life. Every step there is a struggle. Every step. Then why are we struggling? Generally, people are of the opinion that we are all here accidentally. So this is by chance. So by accident we landed here. One time in my office, I now I am not working in software field. Not software, actually I am in chip design field. Electronic chip design. This is not exactly software. So when I was working, one person very vigorously told me that, Srihari, we have just come from randomly from the infinity. That's it. That's it. So randomly we landed here. And then I asked, so what is your process? He said that no, we have to cultivate jnana, we have to do yoga. And I asked him, is it easy or difficult? He said, oh, it is very difficult. It's not even possible to think, in that platform of knowledge. It's not possible for everyone, only few. Then immediately I asked, if fallen down or coming down is random, why can't going back? Why should it not be random? Right? If randomly we landed here, then randomly we can go there. Then why we have to do all these things? No answer. No answer. It means it's not random. It's not by chance we landed here. It's not by chance, everything is happening. Srila Prabhupada wonderfully says that if by chance everything is happening, why should I give credit to your research? Your research also is happening by chance. So then what is your credit in that? Nothing is happening by chance. There is an organized effort behind everything. There is an organized, like for example, this mobile phone, how many engineers are working behind this? Lakhs, not just even thousands. Just to produce this small piece. So there's an organized intelligence behind this. So nothing is happening by chance. There is an organized intelligence, and that intelligence, that supreme intelligence is coming from Lord Krishna. He says in Bhagavad Gita, Mata smriti jnanam apohanam cha. He says, the knowledge is coming from him. Lord Krishna says that. So by chance, there's no question about it. And that as soon as these bodies are finished, all our dramatic activities will be finished and will become zero. So some people say like that, hey, come on, there is only one life. Why are you wasting? Come on, be merry, enjoy. This is what some people say, but this is a highly irresponsible statement. Highly irresponsible. How can we say that there is only one life? How can we say that our actions will not create troubles to us in future? It is a very, very, in our experience, it is there. Some decisions that what we take in past, in this life, and it's affecting our life like anything. Yes, some people fall in love, but they will come to know the truths after marriage. Not the before marriage. The moment marriage happens, immediately their calculations, thinking, and understanding, everything becomes 180 degrees opposite. Everything. So our decisions affect us. Then, why our decisions will not affect our future? Just like this life is that is true, at least. Then how can we say that they know there cannot be another life? Now, if there cannot be another life, then that pushes us, no one is there to monitor us, or we can escape from the crimes anyone does, and, without being punished, they can escape. So then that pushes into a criminal mentality. If they say there is only one life, we are not accountable to anyone, right? We are not accountable to anyone if there is only one life. So then I can do whatever I want. See, such a, so criminal way, it leads the society. So one should be very careful. In this world, people can never be happy by seeing our happiness. That is, those people only, they propose such kind of things. But if anyone says that, hey, you are responsible for your decisions, make wise decisions, how would be our life? How nice would our life would be? And how attentive we will be in solving our problems. Now, who is our benefactors? The one who says callous statements without proof that there is no life, or the one who says from the authorized scriptures and from the experience and says that, you should be very careful in your decision making? Who is benefactors? Definitely the acharyas who say you are responsible. So the acharyas like Srila Prabhupada and his books are like a life-saving books. Not only this life, the entire journey, life after life, saving books. The Shastras are such important books. Such important. Okay, such scientists and philosophers are impersonalists and voidists. So what are impersonalists? Who are impersonalists? Impersonalists say that God has no form. And they don't believe in personal form. These are impersonalists. Then why impersonalism is dangerous? Because it immediately cuts off our relation in all aspects. It cuts off our relation with God. All aspects. There is no relation. See, when God is impersonal, then we don't have to offer anything. And God is impersonal, we don't have to serve anything. And God is impersonal, He doesn't have anything to desire. So everything will be cut off. Everything. That is why Lord Chaitanya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that if anyone hears the impersonalistic way of thought, everything gone in just one shot. In just one shot. But Srila Prabhupada is quite competent. Everything he brings in just one shot into our life. Everything. We have every soul has a relation with God. And the Krishna consciousness process is to revive that relation. To revive that relation. Right now we are in amnesia. Amnesia means forgetfulness of relation with God. But then when we chant, when we accept chanting and then we chant Harinam mantra, then slowly, our past memories with Lord will come back. How to trust that? That's a question, right? It's a common technique that we use in our daily life. How? Somewhere you kept your keys or you kept some money inside, in your house secretly and you've forgotten. So what do? You'll think, no, I entered in this room and then I thought something, I spoke to that person. At that time, they are in my hand only. Like that we do regression. And doing, and all of the sudden, yeah, I remember, I kept there. And then we get it. This is called regression. Exactly the same way. Exactly the same way. When we do the spiritual process, when you chant Harinam mantra, when we do the services, then slowly our servant truth, the truth of our existence is we are servants of the Lord. And then those things will be revived. Those things will be revived. So, there's nothing like we came from emptiness, shunya, void is. That's why at the beginning we discussed, there will always be people who take us away from God. They destroy our faith towards God. So we should be very careful in protecting our faith by approaching Guru Sadhu Shastra. The Acharyas, Shastra, Gurus. So we have to protect nothing comes from emptiness. Nothing comes from emptiness. In this verse, the girl is expressing the actual position of the living entity. She cannot tell Puranjana her father's name because she doesn't know from where she has come. Here the context was there was a king, Puranjana by name, and then he saw a beautiful girl, and along with the girl, there are some entourage, some servants, and then servant of those servants, it's there. That's the scene. Now the king was so much attracted to that girl and then started asking the girl and many questions. And one of the questions is, where have you come from? So now for that the girl is answering. Yeah. Nor does she know why she is present in that place. She frankly says that she doesn't know anything about all this. This is the position of the living entity in the world. There are so many scientists, philosophers, big leaders, but they do not know where from they have come, nor do they know why they are busy within this material world to obtain a position of so-called happiness. In this material world, we have many nice facilities for living. But we are so foolish that we don't ask who has made this world habitable for us and has arranged it so nicely. So then why different theories? By chance it came, by chemicals it came, or from microbes, multi-cell cells are there, and from that amphibians, from that monkeys, and from that humans. See, come on, when it comes to God, you need visibility. But when it comes to such theories, you don't need visibilities. Come on, this is partial. This is partial. And that too without any proof. At least in the domain of spirituality, there are some people who claim at least they saw the God or they have interacted with the God. But when it comes to evolution, no one saw actually how monkey transformed into the human being. No one saw it. No one. So, then who made this world habitable? How this came into a habitable position? All answers, were given in Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna said, I am the creator. I am seed-giving father. And the body is generated by nature. Everything is functioning in order, but people foolishly think that they are produced by chance in this material world, and that after death they will become zero. They think that this beautiful place of habitation will automatically remain. Hare Krishna, we discussed, nothing is automatic. There's so much to discuss, but time is already 9 o'clock. I am ending with this. If any comments or questions, they're welcome. No one? Okay. Thank you very much. You have something? Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So actually, you made nice points regarding how it is illogical to say nothing, something comes from nothing, or life comes from matter. So this makes us understand why Prabhupada was so much uh, aggressively he was condemning atheistic science and also impersonalist, because there is apparently it appears that why he has to be so angry, but there is a
damage is very deep. That is why he is very aggressive. See, everything depends on the extent of damage the activity will do. One should be based on that. The reaction should be based on that. Or the response should be based on that. So the damage that these theories are doing, see, no one have a clue that the criminal rate is increasing, ever increasing in the society, not only in one country, entire the world. Why? Because of these false theories. These false theories. The theory that there is no life, it germinates such a criminal mentality in the heart that I can escape by doing crime because there is no next life. That's the underlying principle that they are following. But there is next life. There will be suffering. So the extent of depth of these false theories are creating so vast. So vast. It's on a mass scale, it is disrobing the overall happiness of the society. So that is why, sometimes Srila Prabhupada is a very, sometimes, he shouted like anything. And, someone German scholar, I think he is Indian or German. He's there in Leelamrita, I didn't remember, but from Germany I remember. And then Srila Prabhupada immediately shouting and yelling at him. And all disciples were surprised. Swamiji, how much angry you're getting, why this much anger you are? But the soft-hearted the acharyas are, they always try to protect the happiness of the public. If anyone disturbs that, then they will become so serious. I mean, on a lower level. But ultimately, they are, unhappy if anyone disconnects from, if anyone creates situations in which there will be, a rise of disconnection from God. Ultimately, that is definitely, from that only everything is coming down for us. They're so aggressive. So aggressive. But we should be careful to be aggressive like that. We should be careful. It will be, many times I saw that it will be counterproductive. It will not productive. One should be very, very carefully exercise these things. There is a scope to exercise, but it depends on one's own depth of realization and one's own well-wishing nature and one's own depth of compassion. It depends on those parameters in exercising such qualities of aggression. Hare Krishna. Thank you. You reminded Srila Prabhupada a lot. Anyone has any comments?
Hare
Yes.
Krishna, Prabhuji, Srila Prabhupada tells that there
Prabhu,
is
little louder. In
evolution
recording
of
it is
soul.
fine, but outside it's not clear. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. So Prabhupada tells there is evolution of soul, but bodies they were created as it is by God. But we see
The moment?
evolution of soul happens.
Evolution. Okay.
Soul changes bodies. But we see, we are taught from childhood in these institutions and all that there are mutations, and then they may be favorable or unfavorable. Then mutations and all.
Okay. Mutations. Okay. Put mic like this, otherwise little far.
Achha,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
So then, accordingly, whether mutations are favorable or not, then natural selection takes place, and
Yes.
scientists they term them as maybe the mutations will be larger or substantial, and then they consider it new species. So they have an effect not only on physical but physiological or even thinking process.
So what is the question here?
So Prabhuji, matlab new species or this evolution of bodies is also true. Srila Prabhupada.
Okay, scientists are creating new species by mutations. So is it a creation or is it a proving the theory of evolution? That's what the question?
Yes, creation when it happened, it was fixed that only this much species, 8.4, or due to this mutation, it's new.
See, the underlying principle of these things is, when we say that scientists are doing experiments, then who are doing? Is that the matter in the form of hands or the conscious being? It's a conscious being. Now, who or how the laws of mutation existed? Like if you mutate in this particular way, you will get a different species. So that's the law, right? Like suppose if you change some chemical angle, bond angle of certain chemicals of a rose flower, you will get a black rose. We never saw a black rose, right? But there was a theory like that. At least I didn't see black rose. Maybe if it existed, I don't know. But they say that if you change the bond angle something, a little bit, you will get a different color, different fragrant rose flower. But now what is the correlation? Like, say 108 seconds degree, you will get a green rose. Why only green? So that's the law, right? There is a correlation. That's a law. Now who designed that law? Let us assume that the mutations are true, and because of various mutations and various new species may arise. But what is that correlation? Who designed that correlation? That's not even, either the living beings control who are mutating or the scientists control. So ultimately they must depend on God. There's no doubt about it. Ultimately they must depend on the matter that is created by God. At least we didn't create, that is for sure. At least they should be honest enough to admit that they didn't create the matter. And they didn't create the laws. So there may be new varieties of species, that's okay. Just like there is a variety of species in this world right now. There may be, let us assume that there may be complete set of a different set of species. Completely. But that doesn't prove the evolution. What is evolution? Evolution is, chemical evolution. From chemicals, life arised. And somehow, it began as single celled and then multi-celled. Now, this evolution theory beginning from single cell, not from even chemicals. So then they must, prove that. They must prove that. They cannot avoid by saying that this takes lakhs of years. And that's escaping. Sorry, that's escaping. The point is there are so much is there to discuss. These are all God created. Let us say even there is an evolution, okay, but who accelerates it or decelerates it? On what parameters it depends. There is an acceleration, right? For example, Vyasadeva, he became instantaneously an adult after birth. Pradyumna, after getting him out of the fish, instantaneously, very quickly he became adult. So that biological process, accelerating that biological process, under whose control? And what are those laws? They are created by God. No one can escape from God by saying anything. Okay? Thank you very much. Okay. Yes, no problem. Please, go ahead.
Actually scientists, they are only researching on cells and DNA, RNA, and only up to that project. Only material research they are doing. But when life force and when soul is there, they are not doing what is the connection between soul and body. And when soul is there, body is growing. When soul is not there, body is not growing.
So why are they doing like that?
They don't bother about soul.
Yes.
They only bother about material
Yes.
body. And what is the use of that project? Why? Where is the soul? What is the relation between living body and what is the difference between living body and dead body? They cannot find out now until now.
Okay. So what is the question here?
No project.
Or comment? You are making a comment?
Comment. Project.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good.
They are not at all bothered about what is the connection between living body and what is the difference between living body and dead body. They can't find it out.
Right.
But dead body don't grow. Only living body can grow. Why this is growing, why that is not growing. And they won't believe soul.
Right.
They'll not believe in life force and other things. That means death, that's all. At the end of that, they'll tell. What has left the body, they will not do any research.
Right.
That is the biggest lacuna, Prabhuji, in scientists. So they are utter flop people.
See, one common understanding which is prevailing widely was, unless I see, I don't believe. This is a common platform on which they are gaining knowledge. Unless I see, I don't believe.
But their vision
But
is...
then our eyes have certain resolution to see. And our senses have certain limits. Beyond that, we cannot observe. We cannot observe anything. So, then why scientists are like that? Because they are operating on that platform of, unless I see, I don't believe. But we are believing so many things without seeing. So many things. There we don't question. No, I will believe only if I see. Suppose if you say, I will believe who my father is only when I see. Sorry, sir. It's absolutely impossible. It is absolutely impossible. There's no way. So you are gaining of knowledge based on the platform of, unless I see, I don't believe. Or if I see, I will believe. It will fail. It will fail. So There is other ways to believe. There is other ways to understand the existence of things which we cannot see. There are many other ways. So if they accept genuinely, honestly those approaches, they will understand. Otherwise, as you said, temporarily they may solve some of the life's problems, but ultimately they will create more problems by doing scientific researches. And they, by solving one problem, they ended up introducing 10 or 20 more problems. I always give this best example, plastic. There may be best examples many, but in plastic, they appreciated plastic like anything, particularly when I was studying intermediate. That was the time actually the polythenes were being introduced. And they glorified like anything. And today that very same thing became disastrous. And how many problems are arised because of just one invention? I hope some of the audience know about the adverse effects of plastic. Otherwise, you can do some research yourself. All kinds of cancer, environmental pollution, and life-threatening situations, losing the beauty of the planet, everything. Why? Such things. Okay? Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.